We are on day 4. This is the last day of our first week of Algebra 2. You guys are making it through really well. I'm proud of all of you, really. We actually have gotten a lot farther than I was anticipating we would. So that's wonderful. That's so good. You're really exceeding my expectations, guys. Let's look at our do now. We've got 4 different multiplication problems with binomials. This is what we were doing yesterday a little bit. I did throw on an extra one that was a little trickier, number 4. And we didn't try one like that yesterday, but we did go over how to do stuff like this. So I think if you just apply that knowledge to number 4, I bet most of you got it right. But if not, that's all right. We're going over it right now. So let's look at number 1 together. I've got 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 4. What would my first step be to solving this?
3x times 5x.
Yes, 3x times 5x. And what is 3x times 5x? 15x squared. Good. So we know 3 times 5 is 15. X times x is x squared, x to the second power. All right. Anybody confused about why it's x squared? Good deal. Let's go ahead to the second step. What do I do next?
-4.
Yes, I do 3x times -4. And what will that give me?
-4.
Perfect. -12x. Let's do the next step. What would that be?
2 times 5x.
Perfect. 2 times 5x. What is that going to give me? 10x. And last but not least,
-4.
good. 2 times -4 is -8. Am I done?
No.
No, I've got one last thing that I need to do. What do I need to do?
Combine -12.
Yes, I have got some terms that are like they can be combined. My -12x and my positive 10x. So what is -12x plus 10x?
-22.
Oh, I got 2 different answers.
Wait, I said -2.
-2. If it was -12 minus 10, it would be -22.
That's my mistake.
But we want to think of it as like if I had -$12 in my bank account and I went to the bank and deposited $10. I wouldn't have broke even yet, but I would now only have a balance of -$2. I added the 10 more and got rid of some of that negative. So we now have 15x squared, and we said this is -2x or -2x, and then we just need to bring down -8. All right, and that is it. We will circle our answer. Okay, any questions on number 1?
No, but I got it
right.
You got it right? Good. Awesome. Did anybody get something different and want to maybe share?
I got something different because I forgot to square.
You forgot the square. Gotcha. Did anybody else forget to make that first term square?
I just forgot my negative sign, so I got messed up.
Gotcha. Yeah, so those are 2 really common mistakes, is forgetting the squared and forgetting one of your negative signs. Super common. We get better at it the more we practice, though. So really good job, guys. Okay, let's try the next one, number 2. What's my first step?
6x times 2x.
Good. 6x times 2x. What's 6 times 2?
12x squared.
Yeah, 12. And then our x times x gives us x squared. Perfect, guys. Okay, what's our next step?
6x times -2.
Yes, 6x times -2 is?
-12x.
-12x. What's next?
3 times 2x.
3 times 2x is? 6x. Now, is it 6x or 6x squared?
I didn't make it. That's not where I was at.
Okay, that's all right. All good. Yes, this is 6x. And what about our last terms?
Negative.
Perfect. 3 times -2 is -6. Are we done?
No.
We got one more step to do. We're gonna, combine like terms. What's -12x plus 6x?
Negative.
-6x. And we just gotta bring down the rest of our expression. We've got 12x squared minus 6x minus 6. And then we circle our answer. All right. Any questions about number 2 or any mistakes that we want to share?
I accidentally put
One
one.
time I forgot the X.
Gotcha. It happens. What were you saying, Lainey?
I accidentally put one of the 6x's as 18x.
Oh, you put one of the 6x's as 18x?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe you did 12 and 6 and added them together
Yeah,
to get
I
18
think-
instead?
I think that's what I did.
That
Yeah.
probably is. That's what it looks like. And it happens, but I'm glad that we're able to recognize those mistakes, you know? That's how we learn. What'd you say?
I did something similar to that, like with number 4, but then I changed it.
Gotcha. Okay, guys, we ready to look at number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So I stuck a negative in here to see if we would not be thrown off by it. What's my first step? Good. 2x times -2x. What does that give me?
Negative 4x squared.
Yes, -4x squared. Next step?
Times 4.
Yeah, 2x times 4 is 8x. Good. Now, what are my inner terms?
Negative 4.
Good. -4 times -2x. What does that give me?
Positive 8.
Yes, positive 8x. 2 negatives make a positive. Good job, guys.
Multiplication. Not.
Yes, 2 multiplication of whenever you do 2 negatives multiplied, it makes a positive. When you're adding negatives, it's a different story. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, last step here.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Right, -4
Yeah.
plus.
-4 times +4 is
Negative 16.
-16. Okay, are we done?
No.
Nope. What's my last step?
Add
We
8x.
want to combine our 8x's. That's going to give me what?
16x.
Yes. -4x squared plus 16x minus 16. Perfect. And then we circle it. Awesome, guys. And very good. Okie dokie. Let's do number 4 now. It's the same concept. We're still foiling. We're still multiplying first outer, inner, last. And we're still checking our exponents as we go. It's just this time we're not going to come up with an expression that is something x squared plus something x plus something. We've got bigger exponents here. Okay, so let's see what we come up with. What's my first step?
3x squared times 4x squared.
Yes, 3x squared times 4x squared. First, what is 3 times 4? 12. And what's x squared times x squared?
To the 4th.
X to the 4th power. Good job, guys. Next one, what are we doing?
3x squared times 2.
Perfect. What's 3 times 2?
6x.
6. And then x squared times x.
To the 3rd.
Yes, x cubed or x to the 3rd power. Awesome, guys. Okay, inner term.
2 times 4x squared.
Yeah, 2 times 4x squared is what?
8x squared.
8x squared. And finally, last but not least, 2 times 2x is?
4x.
4x.
That's the.
Okay, now let's look. Is that it? Can we go further?
No.
No, I tricked you guys a little here. Whenever we get to the final step, we've done all our foiling and our multiplication. Remember, like terms are only like terms if they have the same variable and the same exponent. So I've got x to the 4th power x to the third power, x to the second power, and x. None of these are the same, so that is my answer. I circle it. All right. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about regarding number 4 or any of the others? Yes, Erica.
What function would this serve in real life?
That's a great question. So I know that my x squared functions are quadratic functions. That's what we call those, and we're going to learn about those a bunch in Algebra 2. I don't have a great answer for a function with x to the 4th power. Maybe I can look that up and give you an answer later on. I'm actually going to write a sticky note because I don't know. Now I'm curious too.
I mean, if you were to put this in a word problem, what would it look like?
I'm going to figure that out for you because I have no idea. Okay, let's see. I'm going to write this down real quick so I don't forget.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're making me curious too. I like math, so it's enjoyable for me. Okay, so when would we use this in real life? Let's figure that out later. Maybe I'll figure that out while you guys are at lunch. Okay, yes.
So, I say on the 4th question, if one of them, the exponents did match,
Uh-huh,
and we added them, like say the 6x squared and the 8x was squared,
uh-huh.
and we put them together, would the answer be squared?
Yes, yes. So guys, remember, thank you for asking that. Whenever we get to this final answer, like for instance, let's look at number 3. We had the like terms of 8x plus 8x. So we got 16x. That x does not change to an x squared because we're just adding. We only change the exponent when we multiply. Sound good? Cool. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and put this to the side. And we are going to get started on something else. Let's look at our list. I made a list. I think on the second day, we made a list together. So I'm going to get that out of all the topics we said we wanted to really go over before we get super into Algebra 2. Got that in red folder. Did I put that red folder? Here it is.
Factoring, quadratic, linear,
Yeah.
graphing, sloping,
Guys.
math terms, exponents.
So let's look at where we are in terms of getting to this list. So we have been doing a bunch of exponent multiplication practice. So I'm going to say for now, we can cross that off the list. We did a whole bunch of that. And it will continue to appear. It's not like it's just going to, we did it, we're done. We practiced it, and now it's going to continue to be in our problems, because that's how math works. It really builds on itself. We haven't done much with radicals. Actually, we haven't done anything with radicals yet. Still need to go through some of these other things. Let's see.
No graphing.
No graphing? I thought you liked graphing.
I felt like graphing, I just can't get it on the right side.
Oh, yes, you can. That's all right. You'd like to be hard on yourself. Let's see.
I gotta find what it says.
I'm gonna pause this. I'm a little. All right, we are pulling this worksheet out from yesterday. And we got to number 4. So let's look at number 4 on your worksheets. And guys, let me pause this again. Okay, now everybody's ready. All right, so let's look at number 4. What is my first step here for number 4?
Top story.
Oh my goodness, sorry guys, I'm making this thing go crazy. Yes, 4x times 3x. What is that?
12x squared.
12x squared. Good. And what's my next step?
4x times 3.
Yes, 4x times 3, which is
4x.
12x. Next step?
Negative 2 times 3x.
Good. Negative 2 times 3x is
Negative 6x.
negative 6x. And last but not least?
Negative 2 times 3.
Good. Negative 2 times 3 is
Negative 6.
negative 6. Are we done?
Nope.
No. What's our last step here? Yep. Combine our like terms. 12x minus 6x is 6x. So I'm going to rewrite my expression here. 12x squared plus or minus 6x? Plus. So we started with positive 12 and we took away 6. So we still have 6 left. That's a positive number. So we're going to put a plus sign, okay? Does anybody still feel confused about that? We can talk about it more. Okay, cool. Yeah. So remember, just because there's a minus sign doesn't mean it's going to stay minus. We want to think about why we're putting a plus or a minus. 12 minus 6 is positive 6. And minus 6 there. Okay. Now are we done with this one?
Yeah.
Yes. We'll circle it. Good. And I'm going to switch colors in between just so that since it's kind of squished together, I don't want my work to get confused. All right, let's look at number 5. What's our first step? X times 2x is
2x squared.
2x squared. What's next?
X times 5.
Good. X times 5 is 5x. And then what?
Negative 1 times 2x.
Good. Negative 1 times 2x is?
Negative 2x.
Yes. Negative 2x. Last but not least. Yeah. Negative 1 times 5 is? Negative 5. So last thing to do, those middle terms. 5x minus 2x is?
3x.
3x. So I'm going to rewrite my expression. 2x squared plus or minus 3x? Plus 3x. Good. Plus 3x minus 5. And I circled it. That's my answer. Good job, guys. Questions or mistakes we want to talk about for number 5?
I accidentally didn't put X next to 2 and I combined 2 and 5 instead.
I see. Yeah, that would mess your answer up a little. It happens. It happens. Awesome. Well, it's always good to be able to recognize our mistakes. Helps us get even better. Okay, let's go on to number 6. 5x plus 2 times 4x plus 4. Yeah, 5x times 4x is 20x squared. Next step.
5x times 4.
5x times 4 is
20x.
plus 20x. And now we've got 2 times 4x. 8x. And 2 times 4.
Which is 8.
8. Okay. We have things to combine.
28x.
Yeah, 20 plus 8 is 28. So 20x squared plus 28x plus 8. Awesome. Here we go. Very good. All right. Are we ready for number 7? Or do we have anything we want to talk about on number 6? Okay, let's go to 7. We're almost to the end. We got 4 more. Then I think we're going to try something different.
3x times x.
3x times x is 3x squared. Good. Next step.
3x.
Yes, 3x times negative 2 is negative 6x. Good job, guys. Next step. Yes, negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And last but not least,
Negative 3 minus 2.
6.
negative 3 times negative 2 is negative. Oh, not negative. I messed it up even. A negative times a negative is a positive. Good. Good job, guys. Plus 6. What do we do now? Combine like terms. I've got negative 6x, got negative 3x. Yes, negative 9x. So let's rewrite it. 3x squared minus 9x plus 6. Good. That's so good, guys. All right. Anything we want to point out or talk about with number 7 before we go to 8? That's okay. Okay. Let's restore it. Anything else? All right. Let's do number 8 then.
4x times 3x.
We're going to do our first terms. 4x times 3x is
4x.
perfect. 12x squared. Next one. 4x times 2 is 8x. Next one. 1 times 3x is good. 3x. And last but not least, 1 times 2 is 2. What's left to do? Yes, combine like terms. 8x plus 3x is? Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11x. So we've got 12x squared plus 11x plus 2. And we circle it. That's our answer. Okay. Any questions about number 8? And does anybody need us to slow down at all? Are we going too fast, guys?
Maybe just a little bit.
Okay, we'll slow down a little. That is just fine. I promise you guys, I will never be upset if you ask me to slow down. I want to make sure we're all caught up. Especially for those of us that missed yesterday and didn't get this worksheet. I know that when you have the work written out, it doesn't take as long. But whenever you don't and you're trying to keep up, understand, and write, I don't want to be going too fast for anybody. Alright. Very slowly shifting. Are we ready for 9?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
5x times 3x, 15x squared.
Yeah, okay, so real slow. First terms in both of these are 5x and 3x. So we do 5x times 3x. And what does that turn out to be?
15x.
Good. 15x squared. Now what's our next step?
5x times 4.
Yes, we want to do the outer terms. The ones on the outside. 5x times 4 is what?
20x.
Good. 20x. Tasha!
I'm Miss Taylor.
I'm so happy you're here.
Oh, a little while longer, I wouldn't have been. Thank you, Miss Taylor.
Okay, let's pause this. Okay. Let's look at the rest of number 9. Okay, so we did the first terms. We did the outer terms. Now we just need to do the inner and the last. So our inner 2 terms are what?
3 times 3x.
Yeah, 3 times 3x. What is that? Yeah, 9x. And last?
3
Times
times
4.
3 times 4 is 12. And what's our last step? Combine. 20x plus 9x is 29x. So let's rewrite it. 15x squared plus 29x plus 12. And we cannot go any further. That's our answer. Now, the more we do this, you guys should start to notice a pattern. Whenever we multiply two binomials, that's what we call these. When we multiply two binomials that have x plus something or x minus something, we're always going to end up with this format. X squared plus x plus a number. Every time you're going to have that format. So you know that if you're getting something way totally different, you might want to check your work. It's probably always going to end up in a format very similar to this. Unless, of course, we did like number 4 on the do now today. That one wasn't the same format. In case you forgot what that was. We started with x squareds instead of x's. That's why we got such a different answer. All right. You ready for the last one?
Yeah.
Number 10. Let's see. We've got 3x minus 3 times 3x plus 2. What should we do?
3x times 3x.
Yeah, 3x times 3x is
9x squared.
9x squared. Then what?
3x times 3x.
Yes.
That's negative 2.
Negative 3x. Okay, 3x.
No, 6x. First outer 3x times just 2. You're right, Riri. 6x. 6x. Okay, were we looking at the middle terms maybe? Or what were we looking at? I heard some people say negative numbers.
I was moving on to the inner terms.
Gotcha. Okay, now let's look at the inner terms. 3x and negative 3, what are those? Negative 9x, good. And last terms. So we have negative 3 times positive 2. What is that? Negative 6. Good. Okay, now we've got to combine our middle terms. And don't get confused with a small number minus a bigger number. Yeah, negative 3x. 6 minus 9 is negative 3. So all we got to do is put an x on the end of that. 9x squared minus 3x minus 6. And that is it, guys. That is it. Okey-dokey. Okay. Before we do anything else, please tell me, do any of you have questions, comments, concerns? Everybody feel somewhat okay right now? Yep. Anybody feel really not good? You got it, girl. I'm gonna work with you. I will work with you. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. If you are feeling wonderful about this specifically, I'm gonna let you go ahead to lunch early, okay? If you have missed some things, if you are feeling really, really lost, I want you to please be honest. Stay here. We've got about 10, 15 minutes till lunch starts. I want to spend that time with you guys and really get you caught up.
We can take these home.
Take them home. Yes, those are yours, or you can put them in your folder. Yep, so those are yours to keep. Don't turn them in. I'm gonna pause the recording. Please come back after lunch, 12:35. All right. So let's go ahead and look at our first problem. We've got 3n plus 2 times n plus 3. Now, on this worksheet, we're going to see variables that are not x. We do the same thing, exact same thing. It's just a different letter, okay? So normally we would use the FOIL method to multiply the first term, then the outer, then the inner, then the last. But I want to show you a different way, just in case you want to try something different. Both ways will always work. So we're going to call this the box method. I would like everybody to start by drawing a box with 4 slots. So we draw a box, split it in half up and down, split it in half side to side, just like this. Once you've got your box drawn, here is what we're going to do. We're going to take our first binomial, which is 3n plus 2. So I'm going to write that up on the top
And I want you to make sure that you line it up exactly the way I do. 3n goes by this first box, like that. Plus 2 goes above the second set of boxes, like that. Okay. Then we've got n plus 3. We're going to do it kind of the same way. I'm going to put n at the top, to the very far left top box, and plus 3 right below it, like this. Okay. Is everybody to that point so far? Perfect. So we are going to do this just like we would a multiplication table. So if you guys see on your desks, you should have a laminated piece of rainbow looking paper. That's your multiplication chart. Yes, Erica.
So this is the FOIL method, just with a different visualization.
Yes, it is. It's the same thing, just a little bit different. So with a multiplication table, you'll see that what happens is whenever we go this way, I'm going to take n, and in this box, I'll have n times 3n. In this box, I'll have n times 2. So let's go ahead and fill this out. What is n times 3n?
3n squared.
Yes, we have 3n squared. Then what is n times 2? 2n. Good. And with a plus here, so I'm going to write plus 2n. Keep track of my signs. Now let's go to the bottom row. I've got plus 3. What would 3 times 3n be?
9n.
9n. Yes. So I've got 3 times 3 is 9, times n is 9n. So plus 9n. And last, I've got 3 times 2 is 6. Yeah, positive 6 plus 6. So now we have all 4 of our terms. And here's what we're going to do next. My diagonal boxes are my like terms. I have a 9n and a 2n. So we could show that like this. And I know that I'm going to be adding those together. What is 9n plus 2n? 11n. So all I need to do now is rewrite all the items here in my box. I've got 3n squared plus, we said it's 11n plus 6. And that's our answer. So it's just another way to do it. Yes.
Why did we not do 11n squared?
Because we were just adding 9n plus 2n. So if I have 9 letter n's and then 2 more letter n's, I have a total of 11 letter n's. I didn't do any multiplication. So we don't change the exponent unless we multiply. Okay. Were you in here when we passed out the worksheet? Okay. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Dominic. All right. Any other questions about number 1? I want to make sure we all feel okay about it.
Was it the same thing that we were doing?
Yes, we just introduced a new method of doing it, the box method, of where we kind of line up parts of our problem and multiply like a multiplication table. So it's the exact same thing, it just is looking different. It's set up a little differently. Bless you.
God bless you, God bless you.
All right, let's go ahead and try number 2 now. Number 2 is across, not down. That's how they set this worksheet up. So we'll start by making a box. And then splitting it in half up and down, splitting it in half side to side. Here's my 2 binomials. What should I write on the top of my box? Yes, n and then a -1.
And what do I write on the edge here, up and down?
2n, negative 2.
Good. 2n and negative 2. So now we're just going to multiply across. We'll start with 2n. So what is 2n times n?
Square 2.
Good. 2n squared. Perfect. Okay.
Let's look at the next part. What is 2n times -1? Yes, good job, guys. Negative 2n. Okay, so we're done with the top row. Multiply everything that 2n needs to be multiplied by. And let's go down to the second row where we have a -2. What's -2 times n? -2n. Oh, look at that. -2n.
And lastly, what's -2 times -1?
2.
Yeah, +2. Good. Okay.
So again, both of those are negative. I'm not with. What did you say? Is it because both of those are negative that makes it a positive? Yes. Thank you for asking that. So just a refresher, guys.
If we multiply two negative numbers, they become a positive. That's one of our multiplication rules.
So now that we've gotten all 4 of our different terms, we can see that our like terms are diagonal to each other right here. -2n and -2n. What is -2n plus -2n? Yeah, -4n. So let's rewrite all of our terms for our answer. We have 2n squared minus 4n
Plus 2. And that's it. That is it. Happy Halloween. All right. Any questions about number 2? Any questions? Okay. Let's do one more together. Doing the box method again. Let's try number 3 here. So let's go ahead and make our box. Mine a little lopsided, but it'll still work. Okay, what am I gonna write on top of my box? Good. 2x and a plus
3. What about the side? Minus 2x and a -3.
Okay, let's multiply these out. What is 2x times 2x? Yes, 4x squared. Yes, Erica?
I either did this one wrong or I came up with an interesting answer.
Oh,
This one's Trixie.
what
Yeah.
interesting answer did you get?
2x to the power of 2 minus 9.
Huh. Well, let's find out if it's the same one that we get. Let's see. Okay, we did 2x times 2x and got 4x squared. What is next?
2x plus 3. Yeah, 2x times +3 or plus 3. What is that going to give me? 6x. Good. Plus 6x. Okay. How about -3 times 2x? -6x. And now I've got -3 times +3, 0. So -3 plus 3 would be 0, but we're going to multiply here. So you're very, very close. Yes, Is it 9 or negative 9? Negative 9. A negative times a positive makes a negative. Whenever our signs are different, our answer is negative. When our signs are the same, our answer is positive. So we get a negative 9.
Now, let's look at our like terms here in the diagonal. We've got plus 6x and minus 6x. When I add those together, what happens?
Cancel each other out.
Yes, they cancel each other out. If I start with 6x's and I take 6x's away, I have none left. So we're just going to cross them off. So what should we be writing for our answer?
4x to the power of 2.
Uh-huh.
Minus 9.
Yes. 4x squared minus 9. That is it.
That is it. Perfect. So
On yours, did you just forget to do the 2 times 2?
No, that is what I got.
Oh, I thought you said your answer was 2x squared.
No.
Okay, I must have misheard you. Gotcha. Well, then yes, you did it correctly. Awesome. Okay, you guys want to do one more together?
Yeah, the next one is
Okay.
to make it easy.
So.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's.
All right. So let's make our box. Window. Looks kind of like a window. And let's rewrite our binomials into this format here. So what should I write on top? R plus 1. And on the side? Yeah, R minus 3, negative 3. Perfect.
there we go. Okay, so what do I do here first? Yeah, R times R is
R to the second power, or R squared. Good.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's next? R times 1 is,
Yeah, you can actually just write R. You can just write R. If writing one R makes a little more sense to you, you can do that. But as we move forward into more complex equations and problems in Algebra 2, I want you to be able to simplify it by just writing R. I want us to start getting used to that. We don't need anything that's not necessary, just like
plus negative numbers. We don't need the plus. We don't need the 1.
Oh.
Okay. Is anybody confused about that? All right. Let's do the next part. I've got negative 3 times R. What's that? Negative 3R. And last but not least, I've got negative 3 times 1. Negative 3. Awesome. Where's my like terms? Diagonal, I've got R, and I've got a negative 3R. What's going to happen there?
Negative 3 plus.
Yeah, what's negative 3 plus 1? Negative 2. Negative 2. So here, maybe I should start writing out what we combine. Negative 2R. This was negative 4. So that way you know where that's coming from. So what's our answer going to be?
R squared minus 2R. Good. Minus 2R minus 3. Good job, guys. That's our answer. That's our answer.
So remember, once you've filled out your box, you are just taking every single piece and writing it out into an expression like this. You're just taking all the pieces and putting them together. If there's any like terms, you combine them. Okay. Does anybody have questions about this process? Yes.
Wait, for the rest, like, do we have to use the box?
No, you do not. So let me explain explain that to everybody. Here's what I would like for you all to do. We are gonna set a nice long timer in here, okay? Probably about 20 minutes or so. And I want you guys to just work on these as far as you can. And I'm gonna come around and be available to help. You do not have to use the box method. If you prefer FOIL, do that. I just wanted to show you one more way in case this is easier for you. Both ways work the same. They will get you the same answer. Before we start branching off and doing these on our own, does anyone have any other questions? Earbuds, yes. If you need earbuds, they are over in the back corner of the room with the computers in a little bin. So you're welcome to take those. So here, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to let you guys work on these.
I'll live it first.
Here's the exit ticket, by the way.